Welcome to part 1 of 2 of your 7 steps to your next story series. This is part 1, which is going to give you the first 3 steps, and in the next video I'm going to give you the next 4 steps. So step 1 is you want to start strong. A lot of times you may hear speakers say, how's the weather, or I'm so happy to be here, or thank you, and these are all things that you can say interspersed through your talk. But what you want to do is you want to start strong with something that makes the audience listen right away, something that is of importance that they have to listen to right off the bat. Is there a surprising statement? Is there a quote? Is there something you can start off with so that you have them right from the get-go? If you do that, you'll be well ahead of most speakers. Now, the second step is to have a story. Now, personal stories are always more effective than telling someone else's story. You can lace in other people's stories to back up your own, but nothing sells like personal stories. I read an article about TED Talks, and up to 70 to 80% of TED Talks, which are supposed to be about information, have personal stories. So have a personal story no matter what you're talking about, no matter what your presentation's about. Personal stories sell. And finally, audience interaction. Now, audience interaction turns your speech from a monologue into a dialogue. Now, when you speak to people, you want to make sure that you're not just speaking to them, but you're asking for their input, whether it's mental input or actual verbal input. And what I mean by mental input is you can ask a rhetorical question. Have you ever done this? Or do you remember a time when this happened? Or do you know anyone that blah, blah, blah? That gets them to think on their own lives. Or you can ask a question that actually requires a response. Do you play a sport? And ask somebody what sport they play. Audience interaction is something that a lot of speakers forget. And what I see now is there's actually people that include it, but they just do it at the beginning and just do it at the end, or one or the other. Think of ways to bring it throughout your speech. I'll be back next time with the next 4 tips. Keep speaking, sharing, and serving.